Hey, what's going on, guys? So in this video, I'll be talking about what I've learned from listening to Andrew Tate's videos and podcasts. And as you probably know, he's super controversial guy, and he has court case in Romania right now. So a lot of the short-term content or short length chopped up content from full-length podcasts, then you can see how some of the things he's saying are very crazy, especially when he talks about, that women are your properties or some crazy things like, women shouldn't be going by themselves at night to a club without you. It's like a little bit weird. At some context, I understand, it's like I understand because I listened to the full podcasts. So I understand what he means. He's not saying that all women should be controlled, obviously, or all women can't drive. He's not saying that. He's just, I'm not like really defending him, but like a lot of the chopped up content is really just one-sided or just making him look bad. It can happen to anyone, it's like anyone who says many things in online for many hours, you're gonna have some kind of content like that. Obviously, anyone can have that. So I'm just gonna talk about what I've learned, because actually I've learned a lot of things from listening to that guy, and especially for men, it's like it's really hard. I think for men, I've noticed like a lot of men, especially in America or in Los Angeles, I've noticed like a very feminine. In Poland or in Mongolia, they're more masculine, I would say. And I've noticed like in Poland, it was getting a little bit weird as well. I don't know how it is now, but I've been there 9 years ago. It was getting worse and worse. I would say. So probably it's getting worse now, but it's probably not as bad as I've noticed in America, especially in LA. A lot of people are just very feminine, guys, which I don't think it should be like that, where guys or men should be more manly and women should be more like feminine. But um, I think like I always had this kind of drive or this discipline or just kind of curiosity about just learning from other strong men. Back in the days, I was just always needed some kind of guidance from men, and I hope this video helps you out as well. Just from someone who've experienced things in life and can give some kind of guidance of like how to live as a man, instead of just following just the regular media or just watching other random YouTube videos, brain dead, just not no they don't have any specific like guidance in them. It's just brain dead, empty videos that just give you dopamine hits and make you feel good for a second, but then you're not learning anything, you're not doing anything with your life, you're not educating yourself and becoming a better person. I think it's super important to kind of have some kind of values from a video when you watch it for like 20 minutes, for example. I hope it helps you learn some new perspectives, right? And be like, oh, okay, yeah, I agree with that. I should be doing this and get motivated by that, right? So I do get a lot of motivation from him sometimes when I listen to the full content, like podcasts that are 5 hour long or like just 2 hour long podcasts. So he mentioned something about just when he was broke, he was seeing super expensive cars, and he couldn't understand how they were making money, and he couldn't sleep. He was like just so obsessed about like making money and trying to catch up with these people that that have like these expensive cars, the expensive cars that are $400,000 cars. I'm not very that materialistic, but like just an idea of like being able to afford it, right? So I remember when I came to America and I drove to LA and I drove by Las Vegas, and I was with my broken Toyota Corolla 2000, year 2000, and then I was at the stop sign with my beaten up Corolla. I think I paid like $1,900 for that car, and I was driving to LA with this broken engine light on, and I was trying to just move from Chicago to LA, and I remember stopping there on that stop sign, and then I would like look to my right, look to my left, and I saw a Bentley and Rolls Royce, and I was like, wow, this guy's probably, the Rolls Royce and Bentley, those are like hundreds of thousands of dollars each. And I was like, wow, this is a huge difference, right? And I was like thinking, wow, how did they afford it, right? And like I was just hoping that one day I will be able to afford it at that time. And I was like, I got inspired by it. But also I knew like I need to do something different. I need to do something bigger than just doing sushi or just doing like, bullshit jobs. It's not gonna happen like that. It has to be something bigger. So I kept growing and learning. So I really liked that we agree. I agree with Andrew Tate. He was a little bit more obsessed, I guess, because he's like a world champion in kickboxing. So I'm sure he had more exposure to riches earlier on in his life. So I'm sure he just like could not imagine a life where he was just broke, or just like working in the office all day, every day, 9 to 5. So he bashes on it all the time. But I kind of understand him. So I have multiple incomes, multiple jobs at the same time. So I agree with that, and just keep learning, right? So also another thing is just like what he mentions is I agree with, is like just be able to provide for your woman and your family and your siblings, take care of your parents. So he's saying that we should, as a man, like if you can't, provide for your family, how you can be a man, right? And I agree with that. Like if you think about 100 years ago, men used to be able to afford and take care of the wife and children, and the wife wouldn't need to work, can be stay home. Obviously nowadays it's different, but just at least have the capacity of like just saying, hey, like you don't need to work, I got this, or if you want you could work. It's like it's not a must, right? Because I guess that's the problem, I think. So just like having no choice, that's the situation you don't want to be in. For example, like me, I want to like help out my parents. I want to buy them a nice car. I want to make sure they can travel abroad. I want to make sure they're not stressing out. So all I need to like, work harder. And obviously, same thing you can apply. You can apply it for your life as well. I think we all can apply this. Just working harder is always better. And also, it's not just Andrew Tate. Obviously, a lot of people say that online. Just listen to Brandon Carter. Brandon Carter, he said the same thing. And a lot of influencers would just say the same thing. Hamza. So I listen to a lot of people like that. And I agree with them as well myself. And also another thing that he mentions is to have a strong group of friends around you. And I already made a video earlier about that topic in previous videos. And I agree with that as well, where you have strong men around you, especially as a man. So that way you can be, have a brotherhood, and kind of like iron sharpens iron. So it just helps you just make sure you're not becoming weaker, just because when you're just are a lone wolf, I guess it's hard to just stay on the grind. Hopefully, we can all have a community of men coming together and supporting each other, and maybe talking to each other. You can comment on this video, and maybe we can hang out and work out together, get stronger together, maybe work on some kind of business ideas as well together. So I want to create a community of strong men as well in LA or around the world, in Mongolia, in Poland, anywhere we can just work together. hopefully this is gonna help us just become strong, because I see like some communities now, it's like very weak, or just like not very driven, not very strong. I would say a little bit like just hanging out with each other with no point. Like, what's the point of like just hanging out with each other? Like, so I would say like I would want to have a brotherhood of men around me that are have similar values to me, and we can grow together, hopefully, and support each other. So another thing that I've learned from him was just like he said he used to work out every day for 5 hours for the fights, to prepare for the fights. And I'm sure that's why he had probably very high testosterone, as I mentioned in previous videos, how it impacts your testosterone. And he was very physically strong, and I'm sure he had he won multiple fights. So just working out every day, I'm sure it gives you, boosts your confidence as well as a man, and social status. You feel better, you're more fired up, you're stronger, you feel more confident, you have more testosterone, and you look better obviously as well. You have more competence. So also another thing I've learned from him was to just ignore your feelings. Or obviously, as man and woman, we all have feelings. Like, you feel tired, you feel angry, you can feel like maybe disgusted, or just disrespected, whatever, or like just a whole bunch of feelings, sad, depressed, whatever. But for guys, I love this, because I wasn't paying attention to it earlier, but I agree with that now, that as men, we shouldn't be listening to our feelings that much. Obviously, a little bit like, oh, it's just a signal, being like, oh, I'm tired. Okay, maybe I need to sleep more, right? Next day. But I still need to work today. I can maybe sleep more tomorrow when I'm off. Or I still need to work out. So for women, it's a little bit different, right? For like women, most women, they can like listen to their feelings. So like if they're sad, maybe they can watch a movie or whatever. But especially as a guy, you do not follow your feelings. You have to do your job, whatever your task, and you need to provide for your family, whatever you have a goal. Let's say if you want to be a champion, in a kickboxing champion, or if you want to be whatever your goal is, just do that thing, no matter how you feel like that day. Just consistently keep doing the job, right? So I really like that about what he's saying. I agree with that as well, and just be consistent with your work, no matter how you feel. No matter if you have a good day or if you have a bad day as well, so it doesn't matter. So this is another thing I've analyzed by like listening to him and watching his videos. Like I'm thinking he must have a very high testosterone, just because of, as fighters in general, I would imagine, like being a world champion, how you're gonna have very high self-confidence, and you also have to have a self-confidence before even you won the fight, because just to get geared up to that fight and be mentally ready for the fight of your life, you have arena, tens of thousands of people are watching you. I'm sure you have a lot of adrenaline hits, and just you're prepared for it for years, so that's like the moment of your life. And I think that's like just my observation here. That's probably one of the reasons he probably has very high testosterone, self-confidence, and drive, and motivation, and discipline to work hard, as a fighter. So it's important for us, like at least I work out every day, and I've noticed, like as I mentioned in previous videos, like I have noticed that I increased my self-confidence and testosterone just by working out every single day nonstop as well. So that's why I do work out every morning now, just as a hobby now, I guess, or just like a necessity now. I just see a lot of benefits doing that. And I think every man should just work out or train every morning, at least an hour, ideally like more than an hour. You should probably spend an hour for yourself and your body, right? Take care of yourself first, and then you can take care of other things, right? So the last thing he mentioned and I learned was to have an enemy, imaginary enemy, where your enemy is in your mind and is a better version of you. You don't want to compare yourself to Andrew Tate, or you don't want to compare your own self scrolling through social media and seeing like some professional bodybuilders or whatever you're looking at, models, on Instagram, and comparing your life to them. No, like, this is the concept I really like. So compare yourself to a best version of you. Like, you imagine yourself and then the best version of yourself, and that's your enemy. And what he would do, like, he would probably work really hard today. He would probably, the best version of you today maybe would make a lot of amazing good decisions. Maybe he would work out today. Maybe he would maybe lift heavier today. Maybe he would eat cleaner today. Maybe he wouldn't go out and get drunk today. And every day, and that's what I learned from him. Like, this is a really good thing, and now I try to implement it. Like, what would the best version of you do today, and like next week, and next month? How is he gonna be successful? How successful he's gonna be? If and that's your enemy. That's who you should compare yourself to, right? So yeah, those are things I've learned from listening to Andrew Tate. And many, many more probably things that I forgot to mention, but those are the most important ones, and I hope you learned something from this video. Make sure you like the video, make sure you share it, write some things in the comments, and see you next time on the next video. Bye.